Welcome back to Best Green Homestead. In today's video, we've got a 1500 Professional Incubator by GQF and the 1550. And Ember's gonna stab open the box for us with the flat blade screwdriver. That's one of the tools you'll need. All you really need to do this project is a Phillips screwdriver, a flat blade screwdriver like Ember has, and either a little pair of adjustable pliers or something for the little bowl, or an adjustable or crescent wrench, or just the right size wrench. We'll get into that. We'll see what size you need maybe to let you know. So we ordered the combo. We ordered it from Berry Hill. That's our local supplier. They ship stuff within about 4 business days. And we also got the number 3030 Water Reserve for cap. We got the combo from Berry Hill here. It's the 1500 Professional, or they call it the 1504. But really it's the 1500 Professional GQF and the 1550 Hatcher. The Hatcher, you see they've got the upgraded trays here. They're the plastic trays, already peeked in there. There's one of the water buckets for on top. You got your power cord, and these go on the bottom for your little feet, and your wick pads in there. So I recommend, we ordered one for each of the cabinets. It's an extra $100 Canadian for these. This is the water reserve system, but it comes complete, so it just rigs right up to your bucket, or your bucket rigs up to your pan inside, and this clamps on to the nozzle on the pan, and there's the quick connect, as you've probably seen in another video when we were setting up the 1500 Professional from 2020. This is the 2022 in April. It's brand new, so this is the latest technology GQF has. This saves a ton of labor. You fit 4 gallons in that bucket. Oh, you wanna help paint the basement? Yeah, we're almost done the reno. Daddy's got to finish that still. You gonna help paint next time? Maybe in a couple of years. Okay, so might as well dive into it. Just kind of going over what we're setting up. I don't think we're going to set up the incubator, the 1500 today. We're going to focus on the Hatcher. If you want to see the video of setting up and unboxing the 1500, nothing really much has changed for the assembly, I don't believe, from 2020 to 2022. So I'll leave a description, link in the description below, and you can check out that video. We're doing this because our last video got a few thousand views within a few months, so it seems like people like to watch this, even though we've only got a couple hundred subscribers kind of thing. So we're going to show you how to set these up. We've got a lot of experience. We've got like 10 of these now, so I know how to take them apart and fix them and replace parts, so we know them inside and out. Okay, you gonna get that out for Daddy? Can you take the plastic off? Here's another one of the water reserves. So I'll just put this stuff to the side for now. And the first thing you need to do is take your incubator, and you need to flip it over and open it from the top, and then flip it back over and pull the box off that way. So I'll try and go through this. Oh, thank you. Maybe we should take the pliers away from the child. That would be a good idea. She's pretty good with tools. She knows how to use them. She was already trying to put the outlet covers on the outlet when I was putting one on earlier today, so somehow she knows where it goes, even though we never told her. Now, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm talking and getting distracted. I'm not even opening this one, and I don't think we need to do it from the top. We got to do it from the other side. So what you got to do is you flip it over. They are fairly light. Now, you can do this with 2 people, but they're a little awkward more than anything. So you can take these staples out just with the flat blade and rip these out. Oh. Can you pass these to Mom? Sure. Did you say sure? Pass that to Mommy. And then once you get all those staples out, the box should be able to open on its own, just make sure it does. So then you actually need to open it, fold the flaps to the side, like this. And then once it's open, good job. Can you fold it down? Put it down. Can you help Daddy flip the box over?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Come over here. Come over on this side, Ember. Okay, push. 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 Good job. Yep. Flip it up. Oh. Let that fold underneath. And then you can slide it back to closer to where you're working. And then we flip it up again. Yeah. Okay, now it should just come right off. You running around on it? Okay. Moment of truth. And then I just slide right up and off. Now, they recommend keeping the packaging, including all of the foam, in case you need to return it for warranty. We've got a few of them, and I've already got one box. We've never had to return any of them. Even our 20-year-old GQF still work like brand new. The odd one needs a part replaced here and there, and they're good again. So, but I do recommend it. You never know, and it might be a manufacturing defect, especially nowadays. How quick they have to pump stuff out with all that. Everything's behind on manufacturing nowadays. So now we can take this off. We're gonna get the feet on next. So you can put all your packaging back in the box if you like. Now, I think it's just tucked underneath, so you I'm probably not gonna return it, I'll just fix it myself if it breaks. And then there's your instruction manual. We've already gone through this. I'll just give you a quick look at it in case you're looking at buying one of these and you're curious, so you can see the way the hatching trays go in this model. And you can go through and read this if you want, or you can just watch this video and we'll show you how to set the whole thing up and get it up to temperature, and how we actually need to put goose eggs in today, so maybe we'll even get to show you that. They're due to go on lockdown. So, now, if you pan over to the side here, I'll flip it around a little bit, you can see, so it's the 1550 Hatcher. The other one, the other video we have there, it's 1500 Professional Incubator. So here's your plug for where you plug your power cord into this end, and your on-off switch here. And then, looks like Ember needs some help. And then there's this is the fully digital version, so the digital command center. And this is your auto turn button to get it turning automatically. So you want to make sure that's depressed and there's a green light when you're done putting eggs in and out. So it's turning, sorry, this doesn't have an auto turner. I'm getting confused here. Warmer, cooler, there's no auto turner, so I'm kind of confused why those buttons are there, but maybe it's a part that goes on all of them and they just don't have a function because there's no automatic turner in this one. So, okay, can you pull that off? Good job. All right, well, more here. Now the next step is we need to get our latch on. We need to take these screws out and get the latch on. This is for packaging. But before that, I'm gonna flip it upside down again, and you can get the feet on. Ember already watched us. She knows how to get into the incubators, which isn't good. I've had them unlatched when I don't think I did it. So I'm just gonna flip it back over, upside down. Watch your toes, Ember. Okay. Try not to scratch the floor. So you can get the caster wheels. They have an upgrade for caster wheels that can go on the bottom. I'm just gonna grab some baby wipes. The last video I said that a baby wipe would work perfect for cleaning the bottom. So in this video, I'm gonna actually use one. Just to get the dirt off and whatnot, because they're just little sticky pads for the feet. So here's our feet. This is going to be a very similar assembly process for the incubators and the hatchers, but I thought I'd show you specifically for the hatcher. So there's your 2 feet. So all they need to do is peel it off. Maybe Ember will. Ember, can you help me peel this? Okay, so peel them off. Oop. And then they just simply stick on. It's not an exact science. I'm going to go about 1 inch from the back screws and just press on. Thank you. Okay, can you help me peel this one? Come over here, Ember. And we're actually, believe it or not, almost done setting it up. There's not a lot to it. What you need to focus here, yours. Okay, pull that. Yeah, pull that. Good job. Yeah. You want to get the other one? Yeah? Okay. I think Daddy will start it for you, okay? In about 25 minutes. I'll get it started if you just have some patience. I know toddlers have a lot of patience. Good job. Can you help me stick it on? Okay, push it, yeah. Oh, you got all your weight into it. Good job. That's not going anywhere. Say hi to the camera. Hi, camera. New word she learned. Okay. All right, now the feet are on. It's ready to flip back over. Again, you can get a hand with this. It's not super heavy, but it is a little awkward. I mean, it's not heavy for me. It might be for some. Okay, yeah. Down. Oh, yeah, you're pinching Daddy's fingers. Okay. Now we gotta flip up. Okay, you're gonna pull it. Pull it. There we go. Good job. Okay, now I'll get it back in this corner. And okay. So I'm excited to see inside, and you guys probably are too. But to start, maybe we'll plug it in, make sure it's working. You should do that right away. If it's not working, you'll want to, as soon as you get it shipped, take it out of the package, make sure it's working, to get it back for warranty claims as soon as possible, if there were anything wrong with it. I've never had anything wrong with any, but you never know. So your regular plug on one end, and this one just slips in, pretty self-explanatory there, and plug that in, and then there's your power. Okay, kicked on, GQF, MFG, set temperature, 100 Fahrenheit, and then incubator temperature is lower, so humidity. So it's automatically set to 100, that's factory set, which is what you will want for chicken eggs and likely duck eggs too. Duck eggs, waterfowl can be a little lower on the temperature, like 0.5 of a degree, not much. So you can see the temperature's already climbing. I can hear the fan kicked on, so we know the thermostat is working because it's kicking on. We know that the heating element is working because the temperature is rising, and we know that the fan is working because we can hear it running. So it should be good. We'll know for sure when it gets up to temperature. And then here's your, I'll just show you a warmer. There, 1. So it goes up by 0.1 of a degree. I'll put it back down. You do seem to need to hold the button to put it down. Once you get it set, if you're incubating at 100 degrees, you're never really going to change it. And then your heater LED, so that means the heater's on. So you'll see that on or flashing. Once it's up to temperature, it'll be flashing. And then these are your manual and auto turn buttons, but they are irrelevant for the hatcher because there's no auto turner. So, and then you can read these and see what they're talking about with the lights, but you can disregard the Turner LED. Okay, now Ember's going to show you how to remove those packing screws on the side here. So over here, Ember, can you get that screw out? Can Daddy have one? So you need to unscrew these and unscrew, well, this one. It says right here, so they're just screwed in for packaging, for shipping, and packaging purposes, so that the door remains shut during shipping.
You got that
screw? So once I remove that one, then you can see, did you have that? Oh, there we go. So the one screw, they just have this block, and that one screw goes into the block to keep it shut. So you take that screw off, and they're supposed to give you a black one. The last incubator, they didn't give me some of the right, they messed up in packaging, I guess. But then you need to take this block out, and you can discard that. It's not needed for anything. And then the holes where these screws go is where your holes for your bolts, for your latches are going to go through. They're going to be a Phillips, and they go through to a little nut on the other side. You like it in there, Ember? So while I'm getting this last screw out, we'll let Ember show you the hatching tray on the bottom. You want to pull that out? Why is it stuck? There we go. So that's your typical hatching tray that will come with your 1502 Sportsman. So, and they give you this. Ember, can you put that in there? Can you put that in the tray? They give you that. That's like, you can buy the liners from GQF, or you can just use paper towel. We like the large square paper towel, and 2 squares fit the width perfectly there. And then we just put 3 strips of 2 in for the hatching, for all of our hatching trays. You want to help? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. You trying to turn it? Yeah, well, it's a little stiff. So, and then you can hear the fan going. If you zoom in there, you'll be able to see the fan turning. If you're new to these, they've got 2 fans in these new ones, and you can see the curled heating element behind this screen. I can feel it warm there. So that's just to protect you, to make sure you don't burn yourself really. But I see both fans going. It looks like everything's going. The temperature is going up. Remove shipping support bar before using. So that doesn't need to be in there. So we can remove that as well. I might not bother with that in this video. You can tell it's just the same flat blade screwdriver, and remove that. I'm just going to leave it for the speed of things. Now, we should have our bolts in the tray. Here they are. So, here's our regular tray. Now, our 3030 water reserve system came with a new tray with a hole in it and a float valve already installed. We'll show you that in just a minute. But if you're just using this, when you're hatching, you're going to want usually 2 pads for higher humidity. And if it's pretty humid in your climate, maybe you will only want 1. So sometimes in the summer in Canada, near Ottawa, near the capital here, if you're wondering for climate, and we get pretty humid, so we can use a little bit less humidity in the incubators in the summer, as well as the hatchers. So that will just go in, and you can slide it in like such. And we'll show you the water reserve in a minute. So this can come out, this screw can come out, and they give you the replacement. Same as the other video for doing this. Okay. Can Daddy have it? So the screw that Ember has there goes through to replace this screw. So it's a little machine screw with a lock nut, lock washer. The lock washer is built into the lock nut. So that just goes through, and then you tighten that on the back side while Ember's fixing the inside. And then that's where you can just use a little adjustable or something there. And Ember, can you tighten this? Hold it on the one side and tighten it on the other. Ember, here, help Daddy. There we go. And we twist. Twist. Yeah, see that? She's trying to help me fix the furnace the other day, twisting. She saw me opening the front of it, and then she was trying to open the screws. Okay, so that is installed. Now you just need to install the latch. And as you see, the hatching tray can fit one small child or about 70 eggs. Okay, so now you put that through. I'll just show you once more. So the latch goes like this. So this part is being pulled forwards. You can put the one screw through and the other one through these holes in a similar manner as the front one. And you take their little lock washers, lock screws, lock nuts. And I'm trying to talk too fast and not making sense. And tighten those on by hand a little bit. And then you can grab, I'm just using any kind of pliers. They don't need to be torqued down anything crazy. And just snug those up. Like that. All right. Now, other than this shipping support bar, it's basically fully assembled. Now for the fun part, we'll put the hatching trays in and we'll show you the water reserve system. So, the hatching trays, maybe I'll put blocks up top. So they come, this is part of them. Hatching tray locks, 8 count, so that locks the ends of them together. And there's some cardboard for packaging. And it looks like they're all the same. So they have some instructions there if you want to read them. And you don't really need to, they're pretty straightforward. So you can see there's a little tab on one end and a little hole. And they're kind of opposite, so that I believe they're set so that no matter which way you put it, it's going to fit properly yet. So I noticed that when I first opened the box. We really like GQF products. They're made in America. They're high quality. They last. We've got incubators and hatchers that are well over 20 years old. We believe, we don't even know. You can tell they're old just by looking at them. So those kind of just hold it in place together, and then you put these locks on. Just gonna rip it open.
Oh, Josh.
Oh, Ember. So then there's the locks. Ember, can you pass me some of those locks? And they just slide on the side here. You want one?
Right here, Ember.
There we go. And they just slide on like that to lock it in place. You don't really need to lock it, but I'll just show you. Thank you. There we go. And then they slide in. So one goes right up top. Now, we like these new plastic trays. They're improved to be, they look like they're easier to clean. And they leave more headroom, which is important because sometimes we hatch ducks and geese, and these will have headroom for geese, whereas the other ones definitely we can't fit geese in. We have to use the deeper trays. Now, geese would be best, goslings, would be best to hatch in this bottom tray. Got a little bit more room, but I think they would do okay in there. The old hatching trays I don't even think would fit the goose eggs. We haven't even tried, so. Here's another one. You want to help? So they go on the side here, Amber. Look, watch how Daddy does it. Can I have one? Yeah? See, like this. Can you push it on? Slide that one on, Ember. Can you slide it on? Push. Push. Okay, we don't want to get your finger pinched. There we go. Now, and they are pretty tight fit. Okay, push it in. Slide it in. There you go. Good job. Okay, close it. Close it. And there you have it. Even a 2-year-old can do it. Alright, can you latch it? Latch it. Okay, push it back. Push it back. There you go. And can you get this latch? Can you push that latch back? Push, push. That one's stiff. Okay, and the bottom one. Yeah, there you go. Push it. There. So that's how you put your trays in and how you close your incubator, your hatcher. So that's all there is to the trays. Now you'll want to put paper towel in the bottom to keep them clean. So you can put paper towel in the bottom of those trays. The top is the bottom is the top. There's no top and bottom. They just go together any which way, back or forth, top or bottom. So that's nice. You don't have to worry about that. They've got more space in the hatching trays as compared to the older versions, the older hatchers. And they still have that plastic tray on the bottom, which leaves a little bit more headroom for those bigger eggs, especially if you were to do emu. You might even want to leave that bottom tray out to give them a little more headroom. Now, when they're hatching, they don't need a heck of a lot of space. It's just temporary for a little short time. When they're hatching naturally, their mama hen's going to be sitting on them. They're going to be kind of squished down anyway, so while they're keeping warm for the first little bit, because they can't regulate their body temperature for the first 10 days of their life for chicks. So ducklings are a little tougher, but you want to make sure as soon as you get them out of that incubator, we can maybe do another video on just brooding. Leave a comment in the description, in the comment section below, if you want to see how to brood chicks 101 kind of thing. And we're going to do a full incubating and hatching video, more in depth. We have one just on candling eggs. You can check that out on our channel, and make sure to subscribe if you like this video and hit on the like button for us. Helps out the channel, helps out our family. We're trying to grow this channel, even though we have a lot less time in our lives to do videos, but trying to do videos while we're doing work anyways. It doesn't really take any more time, and we're trying to help other homesteaders out to be able to hatch out your own chicks and grow your own garden and pasture poultry and all that. This little one is due for a nap, so we're going to get her down soon, but I will show you quick the water reserve system. So here's one of the new water reserve systems. Maybe I should put this in a separate video, or I could do another video just showing this, so if somebody wants to just see this, they don't need to watch this whole video. But if you're setting this up, you might be interested in the hatcher anyway. So this one has its own tray, so you get extra trays when you buy them. It's not bad to have. And I happen to buy, there's about 6 large egg trays, so these fit large duck eggs and large chicken eggs better. Ordered them from Berry Hill in Toronto area there. So you can order this if you're in the States. A lot of our subscribers are from the US. We appreciate all the subscribers that we have, and we like putting comment and everything and ask questions, as you've seen in some of our previous videos. We've answered a lot of questions people have regarding hatching and stuff. So if you have any specific questions, or if you know have some experience that could be mentioned that I didn't mention in any of our videos, feel free to comment and leave your knowledge, because that's what this all is about, sharing knowledge. So there's your little instruction booklet. You can see it has the float valve, so once the water fills up, it'll shut off the valve. So that goes inside your incubator, and it connects with this. And yeah, so it's on this side. So you remove this plug, install this, and they give you a new plug with a hole in it. So we'll open the incubator again. This one's a little stiff. And pop this plug out, and then we can pop this in, and we'll need a little pair of pliers to do this. Oh, thank you. And here we're gonna put this one in, Ember, and this goes through. And can you push that in? Can you push that one in? Push that in for me, please. And she wants it her way, and she doesn't like it any other way sometimes. You want it out? Okay, maybe we'll give her a minute. So this tray can go in there, and like I said before, you'll want your 2 wick pads. Now I've had people, a common question I've been asked is, how much water do you need in the tray? Okay, how much water do you need in the tray? And wick pads and stuff. So it's all gonna depend on your climate, and you can watch our other video. I'll try and put a link in the description for that as well, on how to read and adjust your wet bulb humidity. That's a process, and you need the wick, and you can get the analog temperature hydrometer there. You put it inside, and you put the wick in the water, and it soaks up the water, gets your wet bulb. That is the most accurate reading. Mind you, it is good to check it with that, but the humidity on the digital hatchers and incubators are very accurate, but they can go wonky, especially anything digital. So as for water, volume of water does not change the humidity inside your incubator. You could have, if you can fit it, you could have 1,000 liters. It doesn't matter as long as the surface area doesn't change. So you could have this half full, 3/4 full, or just barely empty. As long as there's some water in there on the whole surface area, only the surface area changes it, because that's where the air pulls across the surface area and it can evaporate. So you want to think of it like that. So always keep your trays full. It's not going to change the humidity for the volume. So with that, you have the float valve, which is always going to keep it about half full. And the only thing that's going to change your humidity is removing or adding wick pads, or if you need it quite a bit drier, you can dry incubate and remove your tray entirely, or what we've done in the past and GQF recommends is you can cover up part of your tray with some tin foil or a saran wrap to lower that effective surface area. So usually, especially with waterfowl, high humidity, I can't stress enough how high humidity is important for waterfowl and for hatching, as that air sac will dry out and shrink wrap the egg and get the suction. Oh no! Do you want Daddy to help? We gotta. Okay, we gotta put this in there. Can you push that in? No, you want it out? Okay. Okay, sir. So, Ember, can you plug this in here? Can you plug that in? Look, push, push. So this is where you quick connect, and then you connect on your water bucket, and then you just push. So if you want to remove the bucket, first you do this. That just pinches your line to stop the water flow if there's water in it, and then you can disconnect it, go fill it up at your tap. We have hard water, so I don't recommend using tap water if you have hard water. It's best to do distilled water. We now make our own distilled water with a machine because we go through over 4 liters a day. So more like 8 liters now. So once you have it connected, make sure that's unpinched. You got that off. There's no water in it yet, and then if you look inside, you're gonna need to put this on, just like that. And then you can take your little pair of pliers or vice grips or something and pinch this, pull it over, over top. Sometimes you need to grab kind of the other side with your fingernail, I find, and just give it a push on the other side because it gets tight there. And release, and then that's tightened on and ready to go. Pull your slack out this side as you pull it in. Make sure you don't have any kinks anywhere. And then this is gravity fed. So it's all set up. Now I'm gonna close that temporarily. You got your lid, and there's a hole in it to let air in so that when you have the lid closed, it can come through. So I'll go grab some distilled water now and come back. So here's distilled water we got at Walmart, but you can make your own. We got on a good sale on Amazon a little water distiller. It makes 4 liters in about 4 hours, and it costs about $80. So distilled water, you waste a lot of plastic, and you have to recycle all these bottles. We were going through so much, it was just a pain. And it costs $1 a day, so we're going through $2 a day. So it doesn't, in about 40 to 80 days, we paid off that. And I did the math for the electricity it uses, and it's cheaper than buying distilled water, even at the peak cost of electricity. So I'm just going to put 1 in for now. You can fill that right up. That 4 liters only filled it to here. So I believe these are 4-gallon buckets, the rectangular ones. So now if we zoom in here, you'll be able to see the water. You want to check to make sure that it is dripping in. I'll just pull it out. So you can see there the water is dripping in, and then if I pull this up, you can check this. So once it's full, you can see it slow down and stop. So that's your little valve, and Ember's just ripping things apart. Oh, cool. Can we put it back in? In. Push. Good job. Okay, close it. And that's everything to do with your 1550 hatcher. Just trying to think of some tips I can give you for hatching. Make sure you get your eggs in on lockdown for day 18, if not sooner. Sometimes, depending on your humidity levels, if you're too dry or too warm, they're going to be ready to hatch earlier, and vice versa. They'll be ready later if it's too wet or too cold in your incubator. So those are some things you can realize and adjust your incubation process. But for ducks, we now started getting them in sooner. We find a really high humidity during incubation helps, and then we actually also missed our duck eggs. I've mentioned in other videos. So waterfowl, they benefit from day 7 to 25 or 24. We like to put ours on lockdown now. So we give them a little mist. Cool for 10 minutes, mist them. As long as they're not cool to the touch, they're good to go back in. This mimics the hen or the duck or the goose getting off the nest, going for a swim, coming back, sitting on the eggs. The eggs have a chance to cool, and they get them wet because they just came back swimming. So it's believed that this mimics nature, and geese, for example, almost never don't hatch an egg. So they're really good at hatching their eggs, so you want to mimic nature as much as possible to get your best hatch rates. So that's waterfowl. We do a lot of waterfowl. This incubator is going to be used basically strictly for geese. That's why we got it. We got a lot of goose eggs coming in. Now we have about 50 going on lockdown. I might add that into this video, we'll see. And then for chickens, you want to get them on lockdown. You can candle them before they go on lockdown, and make sure, if you do it quick enough, oh, there was an egg in there. Where did that egg come from? Daddy's coffee?
Mama.
So I was saying about the chickens, get them on lockdown. You can candle them when they're going on lockdown, but you want to be quick about it. It would be best to have the bad ones taken out a few days prior to lockdown and get them in there. I recommend 2 wick pads most of the time for most climates for hatching for all chickens, ducks, geese, especially waterfowl. So, and then I don't know if I mentioned, but this is I forgot to add that in. I got distracted, I guess, when I was talking about the tray for adjusting the humidity. This one is open and you can remove plugs. There's some at the front and some at the back, and that's another way you can adjust the humidity. Waterfowl likes more airflow, so you want to have more opened up for more airflow, but they also like humidity, so it can be a little tricky. So make sure you got your, oh, are you down on top, Daddy? Make sure you got that all sorted out. If you make sure there's water in this bucket, you're always gonna have water in there. Don't let your water run out during hatching. It's gonna kill some of your chickens. They're gonna get shrink wrapped. When you're taking your birds out, don't open, it's called lockdown for a reason, like COVID. You're locked down, you don't open it, you don't peek in there or anything. You leave them in there. You can, I didn't remove the plastic here, there's plastic there. You can look at them if you want, but we have the best hatch rates when we don't touch anything and we wait until hatch day. They're gonna start hatching early, there's gonna be some dry ones. They can survive on their yolk sac for at least 48 to 72 hours after they hatch. Leave them in there as much as you're going to be tempted, and then you can, when you do open it to remove them, you want to be quick and swift about opening it, pulling the tray out that you're getting. We like to have a spray bottle there to mist or wet paper towel to put over any eggs that have begun to hatch, or we also sometimes help them because we have it out for too long, and you normally should never help a chick hatch, but if you are already removing it and it's already past hatch day 21 for chickens, then they might get shrink wrapped, so they might benefit from that. If you ever see any blood when you're helping them stop, they're not ready to hatch, put them back in. But you might be able to get away with a lot of times just spraying them to make sure they don't dry out too much, let them hatch the rest on their own. Only open it once a day if you're removing them. So even hatch day 21, we remove it. Sometimes we wait till the end of the day. We kind of wait until see that most or all the chicks are hatched. If you have a really poor hatch rate, then you're not going to get that. But and then open it, remove them quick, get them back in, and so you're not harming any others. Anyways, that's about everything I can think of for tips for hatching specifically. I'll obviously make sure you're like I said, humidity's good and your temperature. You can check that every once in a while. They are reliable, but just make sure that it doesn't get unplugged or something, obviously, or it doesn't malfunction. So thanks for watching to the end. If you watched this, I already mentioned a bunch of the other videos that you might be interested in. So you can check the description for links there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as YouTube, obviously. So we're at Best Green Homestead, same as our YouTube channel, under all those social medias. We've got thousands of pictures and videos up on Instagram, for example. And we try to do educational posts and write-ups to teach people about everything from fruit trees, organic heirloom vegetables, to mostly pasture poultry, hatching, incubating, and whatnot. We're going to be getting into a lot of stuff if and when we have the time. I have everything to start bees and do horizontal hives and do a swarm trap and attract local honeybees and start honeybees that way, but I don't think I'm going to have time this summer with everything going on in our life. But anyways, thanks for watching and supporting the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. So we have 2 trays here on the bottom of geese eggs that are due to go on lockdown. So I'm going to turn the auto turner. This is one of the older cabinets. This one's spaced more, actually kind of meant for goose eggs. These are the newer goose egg trays though that we got for the large setting tray. So flatten that out. And I'm going to take these eggs and candle them. I didn't remove the dead ones yet, I don't believe, so I'm going to candle them in the dark and get them in the hatcher. So it is best to candle them at night, that way you can see a lot more. I'm in this room with the door shut and the lights off, and it's pretty good, so you can see the air sac there and how it's nice and dark, and the fact that the goslings must be fully developed. I actually did candle all these already, and I already removed them, so I'm gonna get these 2 trays into the hatching trays and put some paper towel down for them. This one tray is from another hatch though, so you can see here the incubator said incubator temperature 99.8 and 70% humidity, so it's basically up to temperature. And the humidity should be 75 plus for hatching for basically everything, but I'm hoping that'll still rise as it's just been a little bit. Now it is best to get your incubator and your hatcher running for a good 24 to 48 hours beforehand, but we seem to think it's okay. It's more to make sure things are functioning, and as long as you're opening it up and letting the heat out anyways, so it should be okay. We're gonna get these goose eggs in. Okay, so you can see these trays, the bottom looks the same as this. They're a little less likely for the chicks to get their toes stuck in there, or goslings, ducklings, so they're supposed to be better for that, they claim. It looks like they got lots of holes for airflow. Now this does block it off a little bit, but it's needed to keep things clean, so we like to use the larger paper towel that's got not the Selecta-size ones, because these seem to fit a little bit better. Now they fit it's a little bit less narrow in this tray, so I am covering a bit of these holes. I could cut things off, but the top's got lots of airflow, and this can let some air through as well. So we'll set the goose eggs in here. Okay, so we can just set them in like this. Now I normally like to put the end, I dropped the candling flashlight and chipped that one a little bit, but didn't go through all the way. It should be okay. I like to put the end that they're going to pip out of. They're going to pip out of this end and zip around and then hatch out that side. So I like to put that end towards the front of the incubator, so when you're looking through the glass, you might be able to see that when your first goslings are starting to pip and hatch. Now you don't want to overcrowd your eggs. The more space they have, the better. Maybe I'll, since I got the space, maybe I'll actually only do 3 per row here. There we go. Now we want to get this back on top. Now I should hurry, but we do cool and spray them every day. So I'm not too worried about them cooling a little bit. We've had our power go out before when incubating and didn't really kill any of the chicks. So it's not as much of an issue as you might think. Okay, so we got, slide the locks on both sides. We'll open the incubator and get these ones back in. So I think I'm going to do a few of the hatching trays, and then I'll probably do the big one on the bottom to put a lot of the eggs in. Okay, I got the rest from this tray. Now I got to get this one back in the incubator and get the other tray that are due to hatch. Okay, I got this tray now. I'm going to put them as many as I can fit in here. We've got some younger geese, so as you can see, some goose eggs are massive, whereas some are a little small. You could wait till they're full size to hatch them out, but we're trying them anyways. See how it goes. So I think we can squeeze in one more row. You can definitely put them in a little tighter than this. Maybe I'll just leave that big one, but it's up to you. Depending on how much space you have. If you have lots of space in your hatcher, give them extra room, you might as well. Now the geese and the ducks do have a lot of stuff that comes out of the egg when they hatch, some gross stuff, so I do often put down 2 layers of paper towel, but we've got that hatching tray on the bottom, so that should catch anything extra that might fall. Okay, now I did mention this. See how this is kinked? You want to avoid that. There is water in the tray still, but maybe Amber pushed that on us. So we got 2 trays. Now I'm going to load this one. We'll try out this hatching tray this time. We'll try out this hatching tray. Now they are supposed to be antimicrobial hatching trays. They are cut to fit. They absorb nicely and whatnot. But it gets a little pricey when you add it up over time. So it's up to you on what you want to use. Now loading duck eggs or chicken eggs is much the same. They're just smaller eggs. You're gonna have more eggs. You can fit a lot more chicken eggs and duck eggs in a tray like this. This is the same as you'd have on the bottom of your 1502 Sportsman incubator. And you can do the same thing. You fit about 70. Now I don't really recommend the Sportsman. The issue with them is you're trying to incubate and hatch in the same thing. So if you're doing it where you have there's the 3 layers. You got 1, 2, 3, the turning trays and the hatching on the bottom. You're trying to incubate, and then you got to accommodate 2 different humidities. So you incubate at 45 to 55 for chicken eggs and hatch 75 plus. So I was like, well, what do you do? I guess you would compensate for the chicken eggs hatching when you're hatching, and then you're gonna have higher humidity when you're incubating, so then you might want to go drier to make up for the water loss, the moisture loss inside the egg. And it just is kind of a logistical nightmare to me on how that works. To me, it doesn't work the best. So if you're going to do that, to be honest, just get a 1500 professional, and eventually you can get a 1550 hatcher if you get a couple professional incubators. But get the professional incubator and just get the Humidators, and you can hatch in 2 Humidators on top or whatever. But to be honest, when you're putting the money in that, you might as well just get the hatcher, and it's a little more automated and better quality and everything. But that's why we got this. I first got a 1502, and I regret it because the temperature can even vary a little bit. You actually want to hatch at a slightly lower temperature oftentimes, and the egg turning trays don't turn at the right degrees for well, not the right degrees, sorry. The 1502 doesn't turn as sharp of an angle because it has to leave extra room for that hatching tray on the bottom. So when you have the 1500 professional, it turns at a much sharper angle. You can notice it. So it does the rotation of the eggs better. You're going to get a better hatch rate that way. And to be honest, you're probably going to make up more money for the better hatch rate you have. Should get these closed. Then you will, then it costs extra. So I highly recommend just getting the combo with the 1500 and the 1550 hatcher. You're gonna not regret it in the long run if you're getting into this. And if you're smaller scale than that, then just get a bunch of Humidators, or 2 or 3 or whatever, however many you need, because that way you can incubate and hatch in them together. The other main reason why you're going to want a 1500 professional and a hatcher separately is it's best to incubate and hatch separately. Incubation is pretty clean. Your eggs are normally pretty clean. When you hatch inside, you get all that fluff. Your incubator, your Sportsman's going to get all dirty. The fan gets clogged up. You're going to have bacteria growing in there. I find bacteria doesn't really harm a fully developed chick as much as it does a young embryo. So when you're hatching in the bottom and you get all that bacteria floating around, it's going to affect your eggs that are at the beginning of development, and it's going to harm them, and they're not going to do as well. So you're going to probably see more embryos start to develop, and then you're going to get the blood ring, the ring of death, where they develop and then die because bacteria probably got in there and killed them because you're hatching in the bottom. And that's why they call it the 1500 professional, because professionals know that that's the best way. But they offer the 1502 Sportsman kind of for the beginners that aren't hatching as much. And it can be done, but to be honest, I think it's not the way to go. Just go, if you're going to do that route, get a 1500 professional, same thing but better, and then hatch in Humidators, because it's just not a good idea. That's my professional opinion. Now, if you want to see a video of us unboxing, assembling, setting up, and loading this incubator, leave a comment below. Again, let us know you want to see that. It's going to be the same. Like I said, you can watch our other video of setting up the 1500 professional. It's going to be the exact same for the 1502. Just the differences in the turning, as I mentioned, but it's the exact same unit essentially as for assembly. Now, since I already did the unboxing and stuff, I'd probably do more of an expedited process and not really get as detailed, kind of maybe fast forward with the assembly, and more go into detail of, well, we can show you the 2022 version. Maybe if there's anything different, we can compare the two from 2020 to 2022. And we can show you how to load it. So taking eggs that are stored, your fertilized eggs, loading them in the trays, and putting them in there, how we label them, how we track things on a calendar, and how we keep things organized. We can give you some tips on that and some tips on incubating. Leave a comment down below. Okay, so happy homesteading from our family to yours. Want to say bye, Amber?
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Can you say thanks for watching? Thanks for watching. No? Maybe next time. You'll say it when we're off camera.